Hello and welcome back to Not Your Status Quo after Infinity War. Uh,
Pretty upbeat ending.
yeah, yeah. Well, with that in mind, let's go ahead and predict what we think is going to happen in Avengers 4.
Sounds good.
Remember, if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the bell. That's what it is, right? It's a
It looks
bell
like a bell to me, yeah.
to notify you when we put out a new video.
Okay, first off, Avengers Forever. That's been kind of bandied about. It was a comic book series, basically, where Immortus was trying to kill Rick Jones, and Kang jumped in. And I'm not saying any of that's going to happen, but the fact that the Russo brothers have said that that's as close as anyone has come to the actual title, and they hired Emma Furman to play an older Cassie Lang, aka Stature, makes me think it's possible that they may be having heroes from across the time stream joining in the fight against Thanos. So I think that's kind of
Hmm.
a good theory. I think that's something that could possibly happen. We know the time stone is in use, so there's possible time travel. We've seen screenshots screenshots of on the set filming when it looks like they're back in the first Avengers in their old uniforms.
Yeah, and
But
Captain
Ant-Man's
America,
on the scene.
He's got the old uniform on.
Yep. And as I think about this, as Disney is getting the rights back to Fox, and even though we might not see Kang in this movie, with them jumping around, gathering possible allies throughout the time stream, kind of catches attention. So maybe he'll come down the line, and we'll see Kang in a future video.
See, I'm thinking to go with your theory there. I don't think they're going to introduce a whole bunch of new characters to wrap this up. I mean, I could see a couple more. I mean, obviously, Captain Marvel, she'll already have a movie. She'll be generally new, you know. But what was there, like 4 or 5 characters there that could jump in? Maybe 1 or 2, you know.
We would see maybe Nova jumps in. You never know,
Joe,
with
that would be
Xandar,
awesome.
being destroyed by Thanos. We didn't see it, but we heard about it. So maybe they're contacting someone to be Nova, whether it's Sam Alexander or Richard Rider. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. I think all we know for sure is after seeing Infinity War that we're going to be surprised. I think the Russos kept a lot of these secrets under wraps, did a great job. So I think what happens in Avengers 4 is anyone's guess, and we're just putting ours forth.
Yeah, and okay, so my theory. I don't mean to.
Oh, you're good. I was done.
Okay. Obviously, Captain Marvel's going to play a huge role in this movie. That's why Nick Fury called her. Why he waited until this moment to make that call? I guess we'll probably find out either in her movie or Avengers 4.
And I think that's something that we can say for a future video too. Is we know that Captain Marvel is set in the '90s. Where has she been since this ended?
Right, exactly. And then, he knew exactly how to get a hold of her. Is there some sort of, I don't know, time glitch there with the time stone? Who knows? Who knows? And another one of my theories is the why Ant-Man wasn't in it. And I think you may have mentioned it briefly, or do you want to save it for this section?
No, you can bring it up now.
Okay, the quantum realm, where time and matter doesn't exist. Does Scott go in and somehow save like the people who were erased in the quantum realm? Does he bring people back who died?
Well,
is there something in the quantum realm that?
And I was thinking too.
back?
You said that it's outside of time and space. If he is in the quantum realm when Thanos snapped his fingers, maybe everyone who disappeared, no one else remembers. But because he is outside time and space, maybe he comes back and he's the only one who remembers these people. And maybe when you see Ant-Man with Iron Man back in the first Avengers and you see Cap in his first uniform, that's Ant-Man using the barf technology from Civil War for Tony to go back and remember that and be like, see, there's these people that disappeared.
Yeah,
or reminding them, and then they know they have to save them, whether they're trapped in the Soul Stone or something else. We don't know at this point.
Yeah, that can go really deep, and what the next line is. And yeah, that was my last theory. Was you just mentioned the Soul Stone? Is that everybody is somehow in the Soul Stone, and Soul Stone it controls souls. So if Gamora's in there, maybe she has control. Maybe she can control it. Maybe Doctor Strange is in there, and he knows how to lead people out.
See, that was my thought too. If all the people that disappeared when he snapped his fingers, getting rid of half the universe, are in the Soul Stone, because we know through the comics about Soul World, where Adam Warlock has been, and he trapped his evil half, Magus in there. So if they're all in there, Doctor Strange or Gamora can lead them out. Is it part of the one thing that happened where Doctor Strange knew that they won, and he's going to lead them out, and then they're going to all join forces to defeat Thanos at the end.
I am known as Kang, the Conqueror. Welcome to your future.
Another possible theory is that Nebula, who we know through the comics has possessed the Infinity Gauntlet, maybe she gets a hold of it in her thrust to kill Thanos. She becomes the villain of Avengers 4, and maybe Thanos teams up with the Avengers to help stop her.
That is a theory. I hope that doesn't happen.
Not my number one theory, but...
Kind of like the Nebula they got going right now.
Okay, and another thought about Avengers 4 is possibly, since half the universe was wiped out, maybe we're going to see some of the alien races from the MCU joining with the Avengers. We've already been introduced to the Kree, and we'll see them again in Captain Marvel.
And then there's the Skrulls, who we know it's already going to play a big role in Captain Marvel, and so it could play a part in this movie.
I think another possibility that we may see in this movie is one of the Watchers. They've been introduced in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, but from the comics we know occasionally when it's dire circumstances, they will get involved and not just watch. So seeing the Watcher is a possibility in Avengers 4.
Okay, and then there's the Celestials, of which Ego was one of them. They were introduced in the first Guardians movie. And if half of their ranks have been decimated, I'm sure they're going to come looking for Thanos as well. Who knows if they'll be in this movie, but it's a theory.
It's a possible ally for the Avengers. And then a few more odds and ends that we think may possibly happen in Avengers 4. One theory is that maybe everyone that died will stay dead. I certainly hope not, but that's certainly a possibility.
Yeah, I'm still not thinking that. Another theory is that Thanos is not... He's defeated, but he doesn't die. Like in the comics, and then he comes back to help save the Infinity Gauntlet from worse hands.
Yeah, if it's something like in the comics when Adam Warlock's evil half that he let loose comes to destroy them, he's working with Adam Warlock to help save the universe, and we know Phase 4 or whatever it's going to be is going to be a lot more cosmic.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a thing, and I wonder, we know in the comics Adam Warlock has the Soul Stone. So is this something we're going to see, probably not in Avengers 4, but are we going to see the Soul Stone with Adam Warlock in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? Because we really don't know what's going to happen to all of the Infinity Stones at the end of this film.
Are they going to be disbanded and made useless by the other Eternals of the universe? Or is it still going to be out there so that if somebody regathers the stones, they can do this again? You don't know.
And one of the things I thought, too, even though the Illuminati has not really been formed and all the characters in the comic version aren't in the MCU, what if they form something like that to kind of keep all the stones safe so each person has one stone, and maybe Star-Lord has the Soul Stone and somehow Adam Warlock gets a hold of it?
It could be. Also, in the end of the comic, the Infinity comic, spoiler alert if you're reading it, Thane traps Thanos in a permanent state of living death. I don't even know what he's encased in. But is something like that happen? Do they throw him? Do they put Thanos in the Soul Stone?
And that's something maybe to escape out of the Soul Stone, Thanos has to take their place. So he's not gone, but he's at least pacified for the time being. And then one of the things that I kept thinking about too, at the end of Infinity War, when Stormbreaker is planted in Thanos' chest, and he tells Thor, "You should have aimed for the head." Is this some foreshadowing? Are we going to see
the Thor actually hit him in the head next time?
Yeah, maybe to end it. Maybe Thanos dies at the end, and maybe it's at Thor's hand, because he did lose a lot to him at the beginning of Infinity War. Yeah. And then one of the things, probably the last thing for this video, is post Avengers 4. Are we going to see something along the lines of New Avengers or Avengers Reborn? Because we know a lot of the contracts are ending with the main, the OG Avengers, and this is their last swan song. So are we going to see, some new Avengers? I certainly hope so.
I have that all planned out in a future video. I have my own ideas.
So what you're saying is maybe we'll have our thoughts on what Phase 4 should be.
I think we will.
Stay tuned.